So fine. Well, the thing is, if I talk about a brief history of Selenium, how it evolved over a period of time and where is it going, right, then here you go. Initially, when like I first worked on Selenium, like as I always say, there was IDE, there used to be GRID, and there used to be RC. Okay, IDE and GRID are still there. Like IDE is a tool which only works on Mozilla Firefox. Okay, it's primarily a record and run tool. Every automation tool, I hope you have this basic knowledge that every automation tool has a record and run feature, which it looks very good, but it is not practical, because dynamic things you just cannot record and run. Fine, dynamic things like for example, a website like yahoo.com, every day the contents of yahoo.com will change dynamically. Okay, or say any news channel or any sports website, the content, or these days the websites are dynamic. Okay, so you just cannot record and run everything. Moreover, IDE generates no reports. It's a very easy tool to learn. Fine, it generates no reports. And if suppose you have got test cases which are say 1000 test cases or something, huge number, then you just can't use IDE. But yes, if you have a pilot kind of a project, you can still use IDE. You don't need any programming and all anything. Okay, so to remove these defects and moreover to work on multiple browsers, they came up with Selenium RC. Now ThoughtWorks is the company which made this tool. Okay, Selenium RC could work on multiple browsers. You could generate HTML reports, XLS reports in it, but you had to learn a programming language for this, like Java or C#, Ruby, Python, Perl, PHP. It was available in multiple languages. Fine. This was the challenge, especially for a software tester, and it is still the challenge. Fine, right. Grid is something which helps you to run the test cases parallelly. Once you have built the test cases in RC, you can make a central machine as a hub, distribute your test cases under multiple machines and run them parallelly. So what will happen is you will save on time. That's the basic idea. Okay, fine. Now RC had lot of drawbacks. Drawbacks were there. For example, there used to be RC server which you used to start from command prompt. Many times the server never used to shut down properly, and you had to log off out of your machine, log in, or there were a lot of things which people couldn't do, and there were a lot of drawbacks as well. I'll not go into the depth of that right now. Okay, so in 2011, somewhere around August, WebDriver came in the market. Selenium WebDriver. This is known as Selenium 2 as well. Okay, Selenium 2.0, right? And it could do the same things which RC could do. It could handle multiple browsers and all. It could generate reports. You had to learn a programming language like we are doing Selenium with Java right now. Okay, and it introduced lot of new features which we will be discussing in this training. Fine. IDE is still there, and GRID has converted into GRID 2, which supports WebDriver as well. Fine. So we will not be doing IDE in this course. We will be concentrating on Java, WebDriver, GRID, Maven and all these things. Okay. Fine. So now moving ahead, right, how do we start? The first important thing is start learning Java. So in this training, don't expect that I'll first teach you Java and then I'll teach you Selenium and stuff like that. Okay, I will teach you Java and I'll teach you Selenium parallelly. Okay, I'll teach you some concepts of Java and then I'll tell you how these concepts are used with Selenium. Fine. So let's continue with that. I hope everybody has installed Java because you are able to join this WebEx session, right? And you also need to install JDK. Okay, just go to Google and install JDK. That's important. Hold on. Just hold on. Are you guys able to hear me properly? Just go to Google and type over here download JDK. Okay, please install JDK, and this is the link to install JDK. Fine, the first link, Java downloads, and go here and download this Java. From here, JDK download, the first link, and for your respective operating system you can download JDK. Okay, depends, download from here, not from the top. Okay, Java development kit. Fine. So now, and one more important thing is, you go to C drive program files and check if JDK is there inside Java folder. Okay, after installation, just check it once, verify it once. Alright, now next thing is installing Eclipse. I think almost everybody knows what Eclipse is. What I suggest people is get Eclipse Luna. Okay, download Eclipse Luna. Yeah, latest version is fine to download, not a problem, but for Eclipse, take Eclipse Luna. I'll tell you later part of the course why this is important, especially when we do TestNG and all. Okay, so just download Eclipse Luna and you can go to the page and just download it. It's just like any other software. It doesn't install, it comes as a bundle. When you extract it, it will be something like this folder, and when you open it, you will find eclipse.exe file, which you can simply open, and the first thing which you will be getting is this path to the workspace. You can set up the workspace. I can write Jan weekend 2016. Okay, this is the place where you will be storing all the code. Okay, this is your workspace for the current batch. Right, now one thing is there which is important. In this course, I am assuming you know basics of programming. At least I am assuming you know what a string is, what an integer is. Okay, being a software tester, I am assuming you know what a for loop is, what if statement is, at least, because I cannot start from that level. If you are Madhuri, install JDK. Install JDK. Okay. If you are a person who has never done programming in your career or in even ever, right, then I would request you not to join the course directly. Right? Get the access to the videos from qtpselenium.com. Buy the videos, watch them, get some background, and then join the training by paying the remaining fees. Okay, so I am assuming you know basics of programming like functions, if statements, for loop and all. What I will be starting off is with the concepts of object-oriented programming, because this is where people go wrong. If you want to learn Selenium, you need to know the concepts of object-oriented programming. If you go to the official website of Selenium, fine, I'll go there like seleniumhq.org. Fine, you go there and you will see that the first line is Selenium automates browsers. First of all, Selenium is a tool which can only automate web-based applications, right? Not desktop-based. QTP can do both of them, right? And that's why QTP still has a market, because if you have to test a desktop-based client and all, you need QTP, right? And if you go to the download section, you will see that this is the link for Java docs for Selenium. Okay, with Java. If I open this link, you will see that this is the official documentation of Selenium. It is completely object oriented in nature. So you need to understand the concepts of objects before going ahead. Fine. Okay, let me open up Eclipse Right, over here I'll create my first Java project. Okay, you can go to file, new, you can say project, fine, select Java project. Okay, under general you will have project, and under Java you will have Java project. Okay, select new Java project, and I'll just call this project as day 1 in the workspace. Right, next and finish. Right, so what will happen is, just a minute, you'll have this project generated. If you expand it, it will have the source folder and GRE system library. This GRE system library is actually Java which is installed on your system. Right, Eclipse picks up this Java. If you have not installed JDK, then Eclipse will always throw some issue, okay, in startup or something. Okay, so make sure you have got JDK. Right, now the source folder is the one in which we will be storing all the code and all. Right, and what I'll do is that I'll make a new Java file over here, a new class. It's known as a new class. Right click, new class. Okay, right, and I'll just name it sample. So just as a beginner right now, I'm just telling you, hold on. Right, let me go to window preferences and increase the font size. Just a minute. Right, so as a beginner I'm just telling you, like, I am assuming you know basics like what integer is, what string is, right? Okay, what a for loop is, what if statement is, right, what functions are. Right, we need to learn the object oriented concepts. Okay, in Java if you have to print something, the command is system.out.println. Right, shortcut is you type syso and hit the control spacebar of your keyboard. Okay, system.out.println, and you can type over here Selenium class. And when you run this program, you can run it from the top, run as, and this button, you will get Selenium class printed at the console. Okay, right, now in Java what happens is, every class, every Java file, right, this is a Java file, it gets converted into a file known as class file. Okay, let me show you. This is the project in Eclipse, right? You right click on your project, you'll get a lot of options. We'll be doing these options in class as well. One of the options is properties. Okay, right, and in this properties class you will have the path of the project. Okay, you go to this path, and you will see a bin folder. Okay, inside the bin folder you will see the sample.class file corresponding to the Java file. Okay, whenever we run the program, compile it, a class file is generated. If you try to open it, you will not be able to understand anything. Right, like if I try to open with, say, Notepad, right, you will not be able to understand anything. Okay, this is an executable kind of a file, sample.class file. Alright, and this class file you can deliver it to the client as well. Okay, if he asks for the code and all, or like when the deployments are being done on the servers and all, when the developers say that they are doing the deployment, they're deploying the class files. Now what they do is that actually they, in a project there can be many class files. Okay, when you work in a practical project, not one class file, there can be many class files. What developers do, they put all the class files into a single file known as a jar file and do the deployment. Okay, right, for example, if you look at Eclipse, this is GRE system library. This is Java which is installed in your system. Okay, what is Java? Java is collection of many jar files, and every jar file has lot of class files in it. You see that so many class files are there. every jar file has many class files. These are pre-built, inbuilt classes in Java language which you can use. Okay, I'm sorry, ma. So as I was telling, sorry for the little break, we had a little break in between for the net. We have every Java file which gets converted to a class file, right? And a jar file holds many class files together. Okay, right? So for example, as I told you, right, when this sample.java is executed, fine, sample.class file is generated. Okay, right. Similarly, whosoever made Java, right, when you open Eclipse, this is Java which is there in your Eclipse. This is Java GRE system library. Okay, if you expand this, this has got many jar files in it. Every jar file has many class files inside it. Okay, every jar file is a collection of many classes. Alright, fine. These are inbuilt classes which we can use. For example, over here, if I type system.out.println new date, date is an internal class in one of the jar files which you can import as well. Just move your mouse over the error when you write new date. What is new? I'll come over to it in some time. Right, you move the mouse over it, you will get the option to import java.util.date. Import this one, not SQL. Okay, right, and when you run this program, you will see the current date printed. So date class, which is there internally in Java, okay, you can use it to get the current date. Okay, I hope my voice is better now. I have connected to a backup internet connection which is faster than the regular one, right? So now over here, if I am able to print the date so easily by using some internal feature, right, then that means there are many internal features. Yes, there are. And similarly in Selenium as well, when you learn Selenium, there is no rocket science. It's only the existing API and the features of that API you need to learn. You need to learn, these are all the classes in Selenium. Okay, over here, these are all the classes. You don't need to learn all of them. You need to learn the features of few of them, what they offer. So it's not a kind of innovation from your side over here. It's something which is pre-built and you just need to understand that. And to understand that, you need to have the concepts of object-oriented programming cleared to the point and in a very good manner. Okay, so now if I talk about the concepts of object-oriented programming, fine. Everything in Java starts from objects. Everything, like what I did over here was actually I created the object of date class. Now what do you mean by an object? Okay, what happens in the memory when you create the object, right, and how do you use them in Selenium? That's what I'm coming over to right now. But before that, okay, this was the GRE system library. This has got various jar files which are for Java. Okay, you need to download the jar files for Selenium as well. Okay, many times people ask me the question that how do you do the installations? Like people before the class also, they were asking me about installations. Look, Selenium is not installed, it is configured. There is no exe file for Selenium, right? If you go to the download section, right, and just a minute, right, if you go to the downloads section, you will find the Java jar file or the Java client API. You can download it from here. The latest version is 2.49. Okay, so if you download it, you will get the jar files for Selenium, which you need to put in your Eclipse. Okay, you need to configure these jars in your Eclipse, and then your Eclipse will, or then your project will become Selenium enabled. Okay, so there is no exe file for Selenium which you can just simply double click and it will install just like UFT or something, right? No, everything in Java comes in form of jar files. Later on, guys, please keep your microphones on mute. I again announce over here, people from the weekday batch, by mistake I sent them the invitation. It looks like to me, it looks like that, so I'm sorry for that. The weekday batch will start from Sunday evening US time, Monday morning Indian time. Okay, right? So this is the weekend batch. So this is the Java client jars which I have just downloaded, right? And everything in Java comes up in form of jars only. For example, later on we'll be studying how to use Excel files, how to read data from Excel files, how to parameterize the test cases. So to read data from Excel file also, there are inbuilt jar files, okay, whose features we can use. So these are the jar files for Selenium, and these are given by Selenium guys. Okay, you just need to copy them somewhere in your machine. I'll copy them over here. Just a minute. Right, and extract them. So you will have this folder in which you will find Selenium 2.49 jar and these two jars, and there will be many jar files under library folder as well. What you need to do is that you need to import these jars in Eclipse. Don't consider this jar file sources jar. This jar file contains the source code of Selenium. Okay, you don't need it actually. Selenium is an open source tool. Anybody can look at the source code. So you don't need that. You need this. This is the main jar and also the jars under libs. Okay, so you open up Eclipse and go to the project. Right click on your project. Okay, and go to the properties of the project. Fine. And once you go to the properties, you will see the option Java build path. Right. You will have 4 tabs over here. Go to libraries tab. Right. The libraries tab already holds JRE system library, which is containing the jars from Java. And you need to add the Selenium jars over here. Okay. You can click on add external jars button and you can just go and include the Selenium jars. Look, I'm recording this session. You will be getting the recorded videos of the session as well, right? And you can go to reference libraries, and you under that you will see the Selenium jar files coming up. So reference library section will come up over here. Under that you will see the jars. If you see the jars just like that, and if you don't have these reference library section, make sure you are in the Java perspective in Eclipse. Okay, in Eclipse there are multiple perspectives. Alright, you click on this icon over here. Okay, you see this icon? You click on this and you will see the Java perspective. You can switch over to that. You will see the reference libraries. So under reference libraries I have my Selenium jars. Okay, my project is Selenium enabled. Fine. If I give any Selenium command, for example, new Firefox driver, just hold on, just be with me, I'll tell you what I'm doing. Okay, just be with me. And if I run this code, you will see that a blank Firefox browser has opened. Okay, just by writing new Firefox driver I am able to open Firefox. So everything is inbuilt. Firefox driver is an inbuilt class. Okay, with this class I can open up a Firefox driver, work on Firefox, right, do many things, do my automation stuff. So now moving ahead, Let's jump over to object oriented programming now. Fine. For example, if I make a class, right? If I make a class known as for example friend. Okay, I made a class known as friend.java. Okay, and in this you can create the name of your friend, right? And say for example int phone number of your friend. So this is a friend class which has got name and phone, two properties. Okay, fine. And or two variables. If I make a new class, or let's take example of sample.java only. Okay, in sample.java I will just comment off this code. You can comment multiple lines in Java with this command, right? Slash star and star slash. Okay, and over here what I'll do is that I will create object of friend class. Okay, now what do you mean by you will create the object of friend class? I will write over here new friend. This means I have created the object. I can write it 4 times as well. If I am writing it 4 times, what does that mean? That means I have created, hold on, 4 objects of the friend class. Each object would have the property name and phone. Every object will have the property name and phone. In the memory, every object will have this. Okay, right. Now to access this object in the memory, you cannot just access it like that. You need object reference. In Java, object and object references are different. Note this point. Okay, object and object references, these are different things, right? If I write over here friend f equals to, or f1 equals to new friend, then f1 is the reference to this object. f1 is not the object. Okay, object will be something like this and reference will point towards that object. The name of reference is f1. This object will have the name and age properties. Okay, right? And you will write over here friend f1 f2, then f2 will be another friend. Okay, f3 f4, like that you can have n number of friends. Each friend I can give a different value. For example, I can write f1 dot name is a, right? Okay, f1 dot phone is 100, right? f2 dot name is b, fine, and f2 dot phone is 200. Okay, right? Friend is this class. This is public class friend which I just created. It has just got 2 variables. But by creating the object of this class, okay, I can assign every object a different value. Okay, in the memory f1 will be over here, f2 will be over here. It will point towards a different object. Okay, over here f2 the name will be b, f1 the name would be age, sorry, a 100 over here, age will be 200 over here. Objects are there in the memory, they will never move. References can move. I can write over here, if I write over here system.out.println f1.name and f2.name, it will print the name of f1 and f2. f1 is a and f2 is b. If I write f1 equals to f2, so what will happen is that remove this reference from here, point f1 towards the same reference to which f2 was pointing. Note this is very important. Okay, when we do the framework in the end, right, when we do a project, this will be used, and at that time you will think that fine, I don't remember that. So note this point, f1 and f2 are the references, they can be moved from one object to another. Now I can write on the next line, if I write f1.name and f2.name, right, this will give me the same output, b and b, because f1 has moved where f2 is there. Okay, right? Yeah, any questions? Yeah, so f1 and f2 are known as the references. They can move from one object to another. Okay, they can change the state of the object. Over here with f1, okay, I have put name and phone in the object. Okay, with f1 over here on this line over here, I have put name equals to a and age equals to 100. Similarly over here I have put name is b and phone is 200 with f2. Okay, but f1 and f2 are not objects. These point towards the object. It doesn't matter if f1 and f2 don't have the same variables, it doesn't matter, they can have anything. They are independent of each other. Yeah. Okay, they are completely independent. And that's what we do in Selenium. We make objects of existing classes. Right. When you do f1 equals to f2, you point f1 to the same object to which f2 was pointing. That's why it's printing b for both of them. Yeah. Yeah. It will only come up if you give those properties in this friend class. I have not given city and town over here. If I give city and town, those properties will come for f1 and f2 both. Y- Yeah. I couldn't get you. Yeah. So yes, those all will also come up. Whatever is there in the object will come up. Yeah. Everything will come up. Not a new memory, existing one only. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, and the same thing we do in Selenium. Okay, everything is inbuilt to create the objects of those classes. For example, if I write a new class over here known as Selenium Basics. Okay, right. Everything in Selenium is inbuilt. For example, there is a class known as Firefox Driver. You create the object of this class and simply you will be able to open up Firefox. When you run this, you will see Firefox opening up. As I told you earlier as well, with this object you can fire many functions on Firefox browser. Okay, with this is the reference to Firefox driver. Okay, I can write fd.get. Get is one of the functions. Get to which URL? Say http yahoo.com. If I want to open another Firefox driver, I can create another object, fd1, and fd1 dot get to say cnn.com. So when you run this, so Yahoo, and there'll be two browsers opening up. First this will go to Yahoo, right, and then another browser will open up. You see that it will go to CNN, right? But generally just open one. We just open one browser at a time. We don't open multiple browsers on a single machine like this. Okay, right. There is no difference. You can, if you want to use IntelliJ, you can. Okay, there's a question being asked that what is the, this is the question, what is the difference between WebDriver and Firefox driver? I will come over to it. Okay, just be with me. When I explain you the concepts of interfaces, tomorrow I will do that. Okay, tomorrow I'll explain you interfaces concept. Okay, I'll tell you. Look, day 1, day 2, day 3, don't go by this. Day 1 basically means the first hour, day 2 means the second hour, something like this. Okay, this is a reference material which I just keep it for myself to check whether I'm going on the track or not. Don't think that today we'll study this and tomorrow we'll study this. This is roughly the first hour, this is roughly the second hour. Okay, so now similarly there are drivers for Chrome, IE, Firefox, Edge, Safari. Fine. If I show you the documentation, fine, just a minute. If I show you the documentation, yeah, you can ping me after the class, Abhishek, I'll show you. Then these are the various drivers. As the name suggests, Chrome driver is for Chrome browser, Edge is for Edge. Not a very stable driver right now. Okay, Edge driver has got issues. Event firing driver, I'll talk about it. It is not that much used. I'll talk about later on. Right, Firefox driver is for Firefox. HTML unit driver, I'll tell you what it is used for. Probably today only I'll tell you. Okay, Internet Explorer, IE driver. Then there are Opera drivers and a lot of drivers. Safari, Opera, these are quite unstable. Okay, these give issues. Remote web driver, this is important. This is used in GRID, and this is also used in Appium. Appium is a tool used for mobile apps testing. It is built on top of Selenium. Remote web driver is also used over there. So we'll be studying that as well. Fine. So now if I talk about Chrome driver, fine, if I want to work on Chrome, okay, I'll comment this. If I create the object of Chrome driver cd and import this class, you need to import everything on the top, Firefox driver, Chrome driver. Okay, if I don't import it, I'll get an error. Just move the mouse over the error and you will get the option of importing, but make sure the jar files are added in the project. Okay, right, and you create the object of Chrome driver. Now if I run my program, you will see an error coming up. Illegal state exception. The path to the driver executable must be set. Okay, so you need to set the path of Chrome driver exe. There is something known as Chrome driver exe which you can download, and you need to set the path. Everybody will get this error. Okay, so what you need to do is that you need to go to the official website of Selenium, go under download link tab and go to third-party browsers drivers not developed by Selenium HQ. You will have the Chrome driver. Okay, go here and you can go to all versions available in downloads. You can go to downloads and click on this 2.20 release. Fine, and you can download it for your operating system. Right, in case you have got 64-bit machine, you can still download 32-bit for Windows. Okay, fine, and I have it downloaded. Yeah, this is the one, Chrome driver.exe. Okay, so what you need to do is that you need to write over here system.setProperty. You need to set a system property known as WebDriver.Chrome.driver and give the path where your Chrome driver is lying on your PC. In Java you have to give / its escape sequence. Okay, fdrive Chrome driver.exe, and you know what, you have to be very careful with what you are writing over here. Okay, this, yeah. No. Hold on. This Chrome driver dot for Firefox, it finds the exe for Firefox and opens it. For Chrome driver, a separate driver is required. This Chrome driver.exe which you have downloaded. If you run it, nothing will happen. Okay, don't run it. This is something which you need to set in the system properties. When Chrome driver object is made by Selenium, it automatically takes up this exe, probably does something in the backend and launches Chrome. This exe is required to work with Chrome when you're working with Selenium. This is not your Chrome browser exe. Okay, right? For Firefox driver, when you create the object, it finds the exe and opens it, but for Chrome it cannot directly open the exe. You have to probably set it up something, set some properties or set some parameters while opening Chrome which are defined in this exe file. Okay, so and I can write in the next line Chrome driver dot get me to the location, say again http say books.com. Right, so when you run this, in I also the same kind of thing is there. Okay, so see that the browser opens, Chrome driver opens, and it should take you to books.com. Hold on, it's not taking me. Probably this current version of Chrome which I am using is not supported by the current version of Selenium. Okay, it happens, this always happens. Okay, the versions, they keep on upgrading, right, but the tool doesn't support. For example, if I look at my current version of Firefox, fine, the current version of Firefox is 43. Few days back Selenium was not supporting it. Now it is supporting the latest version. So this issue will always be there. First Firefox, the newer version will come up, Chrome version will get updated, then Selenium guys will update them. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yes, this can be the reason, but I don't think so. This is the reason. Yes, this is the reason. Sorry. So it's supported, right? So, but yes, you might get this issue, and I have also seen this issue a lot of times. Fine, that the browser version which you use is a little ahead from the browser which is supported. Okay, we are using Selenium 2.49 right now. Okay, Sam, it comes with experience. You will come to know with experience. If you go to the version 2.48.x, right, then Firefox 43 used to give issues, but 2.49 43 is working fine. Fine. How will the tester know the issues of because of the browser version? You know, it comes with experience. You just sometimes thinks that fine, nothing is working, switch back the version, it starts working. So that means the latest one is not supported, right? Okay. Now these Firefox guys, every month they bring up a new version, so obviously the latest ones will give issues. That's why I tell you, especially in Firefox, go to tools, options, fine, and go to advanced settings, go to updates, and never check for updates. Click on this. Okay, I have not done it, but I'm just doing it in front of you. So just select the option that please don't update my Firefox browser. Okay, so then only, you know, it will not get automatically update and you will not face any issues. Okay, similarly you have got Internet Explorer driver. It's for obviously IE, right? So Internet, look, in Selenium it's very easy. You don't need to write the complete word Internet Explorer driver. Fine, you just write INTER and hit Control space bar. Eclipse will give you the names of all the classes, internal classes, which it can recognize with the word INTER. Okay, right, and you can keep on writing Internet X. Here you go, you found it. Internet Explorer driver IE equals to new Internet Explorer. You create the object of this class, you can work with Firefox. Okay, right. Does Selenium keep track of supported versions of the browser somewhere? It's there in the tracking logs. It's there. It's there in the release notes and all on the website when you download Selenium. Okay, it's there in the release notes. But you yourself with experience, you'll come to know that fine, it's because of the version, right? Now I will not work like this. If I run this again, it will throw me an error for I. Okay, for I also you need to download an exe. Okay, from the Selenium website, go to the download section and you will see an exe for Internet Explorer driver server. Okay, you can download for 64-bit I or 32-bit I. This is the bit of I, not for your PC. Okay, if you have a 64-bit machine and 32-bit I, you need to download this one, right? I have it downloaded, right? It's over here, idriverserver.exe. Okay, right. So what you need to do is that you need to write again the same kind of thing which you wrote over here, system.set property before opening Internet Explorer, WebDriver.I.driver. Make sure everything is in the lower case. Okay, sometimes people keep I in capital or something. No, Java is a case sensitive language. In Internet Explorer driver, if I keep this D in lowercase, I will start getting exceptions. Fine. So Java is a case sensitive language. webdriver.i.driver, and inside f drive you can keep, you can give the path iDriverServer.exe. Fine. And then you can write i.get to the website, say http gmail. Now I is something, right? No, nothing, Kamal. I'll tell you. Versioning issues will always be there. You have to tweak it a little bit. Okay. You have to be there. Yeah, yes, you need to write that. You need to write that. Okay. Let me run this once more. Yeah. So it's taking me there, and no, don't perform this check. Yeah. So I am on Gmail. Fine. Now in it's there, Kamal. Just look carefully. It cannot work with this thing. It will never work. Okay. And in you have to do one thing. You have to make sure that the zoom settings are set to 100%. If you don't have this 100%, again you might get an issue, right? So make sure that this is there. Fine. At times you are not the admin of your PC and I fails to open. It gives issues over there as well, right? So these are the three commonly used browsers. Apart from that, we have got Opera driver, which is for Opera, and Safari driver. Both of them are unstable. They give issues. A lot of things they don't work on Safaris. Like for example, on both the browsers, if I have to manage pop-ups and different windows, it becomes tough. It becomes really tough. But with this Firefox, Chrome, and it's quite easy. The driver. Okay, all these drivers you can manage them very easily. Now, let's do one